Welcome, traveler. If you're drawn to stories that drift between history and dream, you've found your place. Feel free to like and subscribe if these quiet journeys speak to you, and if you're listening from somewhere far or familiar, leave a comment below. It's always a wonder to see where our paths cross. Now, take a breath, get comfortable, and let the waters carry you. Tonight, we return to Venice, not as it is, but as it remembers itself. In the heart of medieval Europe, a city was born not of earth and stone, but of water and mist, of courage and secrets. Imagine a city with no walls to guard it, no knights on horseback to charge into battle. Its only defense was the shifting tide of the lagoon, and its true power wasn't measured in gold, but in whispers. Whispers that echoed from behind ornate masks and traveled on the silent glide of a gondola. So let's begin by finding your comfortable place. Just let your body grow heavy and feel your muscles begin to unwind. Take a slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, let go of the day. Allow the noise of the world to fade away, replaced by a gentle, lapping sound, the sound of water against weathered stone. We're leaving the solid ground of the present behind. Tonight, you are a Venetian, and the whispering canals are calling you home. Let the story begin as you drift deeper and deeper into a peaceful, restorative sleep. Before there were palaces of marble and bridges of sighs, there was only the lagoon, a vast, shallow expanse of salt water and marshy islets. It was a refuge for people fleeing the collapse of the Roman Empire. These weren't conquerors or kings, but ordinary families from the mainland, the Veneti, tribe looking for safety from the waves of invasions that marked the end of an era. They chose this precarious home not for comfort, but for its isolation. The water was their moat, their shield. Their first homes were simple wooden huts, clustered on the most stable bits of ground, small islands that would one day become the famous districts or sestieri of the city. Rialto, which means high bank, was one of these very first footholds. A place of sanctuary in a world of chaos. But how do you build a city on what is essentially mud and water? A ground so soft you could sink to your waist if you stepped in the wrong place. The answer lies right beneath your feet, a hidden forest supporting the impossible dream above. The early Venetians became masters of ingenuity. They devised a system that was both simple and breathtakingly ambitious. From the great forests of the mainland, they brought timbers of oak, larch, and alder, woods known for their incredible resistance to decay when submerged in water. They drove thousands upon thousands of these wooden piles-long stakes sharpened to a point deep into the mud. They hammered them down, past the soft silt and shifting sand, until they hit the hard compressed clay far below, a layer known as Coranto. This created a stable, artificial foundation where none existed. It's an underwater forest, petrified and strengthened over centuries by the mineral-rich, oxygen-poor water, forming a base of unimaginable strength. The magnificent Basilica of Santa Maria della Salute, a testament to the city's faith, stands today on over 1 million of these wooden piles. The famous Rialto Bridge, an emblem of Venetian commerce, rests on a foundation of 12,000. Once the piles were in place, they were topped with wooden platforms, creating a solid, level surface just below the waterline. On top of those, they laid a layer of impermeable Istrian stone. This brilliant white limestone, brought from the nearby coast of modern-day Croatia, resisted the corrosive salt and formed a waterproof barrier, a stone footing to protect the foundations of the buildings above. Only then could the real building begin, often with brick, a material much lighter than stone, to lessen the load on the ancient wooden forest below. This blend is the secret to Venice's endurance, wood that petrifies and strengthens in the yaws, water, stone that repels the tide, and light brick that allows for soaring structures. It's a city built in defiance of nature, yet in perfect harmony with it. Feel that gentle sway of the ground beneath you. It's not unstable, but alive. It's the feeling of a city breathing with the tides. The canals aren't just waterways. They're the city's grandest boulevards. The most beautiful facades of the palaces, with their intricate arches and balconies, all face the water, because it's from the water that they were meant to be admired. The architecture itself tells a story. It's a beautiful mix of styles. The pointed arches and delicate tracery of European Gothic are blended with the ornate, delicate domes and mosaics of Byzantine design, a clear nod to the city's early ties to the Eastern Roman Empire. You can also see the influence of Islamic design, brought home by merchants, in the intricate patterns and elegant arches, a testament to Venice's role as Europe's gateway to the Silk Road, a place where cultures, ideas, and goods all converged. As you drift now, just imagine the slow, patient work of these first Venetians. The rhythmic thud of mallets driving piles into the earth, a sound absorbed by the water and the soft mud. The careful placement of each stone, each brick, creating a masterpiece of engineering and faith. You are floating on a city built on courage and cleverness, a dream made solid against all odds. Let this feeling of stable, supported wonder carry you deeper into your rest. The lifeblood of Venice isn't blood, but water. Its canals, all 177 of them, are the true streets of this unique city, carrying everything from precious silks to humble vegetables, from powerful senators to quiet artisans. And the vessel that navigates these watery streets is, of course, the gondola, an icon as recognizable as the city itself. The gondola has been a part of Venetian life since at least the 11th century, first mentioned in a ducal decree in 1094. But the boats you see tonight aren't quite the same as their earliest ancestors. Paintings from the 15th and 16th centuries show boats that were wider, shorter, and more symmetrical, often needing 2 rowers. Over the centuries, the design evolved in the city's boatyards, known as squarey. The hull became longer, narrower, and more elegant. The distinctive asymmetrical, banana-like shape we see today was perfected in the 19th century. This clever design, with one side of the boat curved more than the other, allows a single gondolier with a single oar to glide the vessel with incredible grace and precision, counteracting the thrust of the oar to move in a straight line. Your gondola tonight glides silently through a narrow canal. The oar makes only a soft splash and a gentle creak in the oarlock, or forcola, a beautifully carved piece of walnut, uniquely shaped to allow for multiple oar positions. The gondolier stands behind you, a silhouette against the moonlit sky. Doesn't pole the boat. The canals are far too deep for that. Instead, he uses the long oar as both a rudder and a propeller, with a skill passed down through generations of a proud and ancient guild. At the front of the gondola, the metal prow, or ferrule, slices cleanly through the water. It's not just for decoration. Its weight helps to balance the gondolier at the stern, and its shape is pure Venetian symbolism. The S-curve represents the bend of the Grand Canal. The 6 prongs facing forward represent the 6 sestieri, or districts of the city, and the single prong facing backward represents the island of Giudecca. In the Republic's golden age, it's estimated that as many as 10,000 gondolas plied these waters. They weren't all for hire. The wealthiest families owned their own fleets, each trying to outdo the other with opulent decorations, gilded carvings, and bright, expensive fabrics. It became such a show of competitive vanity that the government finally had to step in. A sumptuary law was passed in the 16th century, declaring that all gondolas must be painted a uniform, elegant black to curb such extravagant displays. This tradition continues to this day, and it had an unintended, beautiful effect. It stripped away the showy displays of wealth, leaving only the pure, graceful form of the boat itself. Many gondolas back then had a fels, a small enclosed cabin in the middle of the boat. This offered shelter from the rain and sun, but more importantly, it offered privacy. It was inside these dark, intimate cabins that secrets were whispered. Illicit romances blossomed, and sensitive political deals were made. The louvered shutters on the windows, the original Venetian blinds, allowed those inside to see out while remaining unseen. It was a perfect reflection of a city that valued discretion above all else. A city of masks, a city of secrets. Tonight, though, your gondola is open to the stars. You drift under small arched bridges, their stone worn smooth by time. The water reflects the warm glow of lanterns from distant windows. The sounds are soft and muted. The distant chime of a bell, a bit of laughter from a hidden courtyard, and the ever-present lapping of water. This is the true music of Venice at night, a lullaby of water and stone, silence and echoes. Let the rhythmic motion of the gondola soothe you, rocking you gently, carrying you along the quiet canals of your imagination, deeper and deeper into a state of profound and peaceful sleep. As dawn begins to break, the hush of the night slowly gives way to the gentle hum of a city waking up. Venice was, above all, a city of commerce. Its wealth wasn't built on land or farming, but on the sea and the cleverness of its merchants. From its key position in the Adriatic, Venice became the center of trade between East and West, establishing posts as far away as Syria, Egypt, and the Black Sea. Just imagine the Rialto market at mid-morning. The air is thick with 1,000 different scents. Heady spices from the East, cinnamon, cloves, precious saffron mingle with the smell of salt fish from the lagoon, fresh bread from a nearby bakery, and ripe fruit from the mainland. Merchants shout their wares in a dozen different languages. Here, a German trader haggles for pepper to be sent over the Alps. There, an official inspects a bolt of silk that just arrived from Constantinople. Luxury goods were traded right alongside necessities, like grain and salt, a commodity that Venice produced in vast quantities from its lagoon, forming the backbone of its early power. But Venice wasn't just a city of merchants. It was also a city of master artisans. The skills of its craftsmen were famous throughout Europe. On the island of Murano, a short boat ride away, the world's finest glass was made. The secrets of Venetian glassmaking were so jealously guarded that in the 13th century, all glassblowers were ordered to move to the island, partly to protect the city from the risk of fire from the furnaces, but mostly to prevent them from leaving the Republic and sharing their techniques. You can almost feel the intense heat of the furnaces, see the glowing orb of molten glass at the end of a blowpipe, and watch as a skilled artisan transforms it into a delicate goblet as light as air. Elsewhere, in the quiet courtyards of another island, Murano, women sit in doorways, their fingers a blur as they create intricate lace. This needle lace, known as punto in aria or points in the air, was so fine it was sought after by royalty across the continent. It's said that a lace collar for King Louis XIV of France took a team of lace makers 2 years to complete. The craft was a source of pride and crucial income, especially when the fishing, the island's main industry, failed. And then there was the arsenal, the massive state-run shipyard that was the heart of Venice's naval power. Spanning nearly 15% of the city's area, the arsenal was a marvel of efficiency, an industrial powerhouse that predated the Industrial Revolution by centuries. It is credited with pioneering the assembly line. A new ship's hull would be moved along a canal, and at each station, different specialists would descend upon it, some caulking the hull, others adding the masts and rigging, others equipping it with arms. This incredible system, using standardized parts and specialized labor, allowed the arsenal to produce a fully equipped warship in a single day, a feat that stunned the world and secured Venice's dominion over the seas. Life for an ordinary Venetian was tied to these rhythms of craft and trade. A baker rising before dawn, his small kitchen filled with the warm, comforting smell of baking bread. A stonemason carefully carving a detail onto a new palazzo. A fishmonger laying out his catch, fresh from the lagoon. There was a sense of shared purpose, a feeling that everyone, from the wealthiest merchant to the humblest laborer, played a part in the great, intricate machine of the Republic. Let your mind drift with these gentle rhythms of daily life. The sounds of work aren't jarring, but a steady, reassuring pulse. The clink of a hammer on stone, the call of a market vendor. These are the sounds of a city alive and thriving. Allow this gentle, industrious energy to flow through you. A current of calm purpose that carries you further down the stream of sleep into the quiet harbor of your dreams. As the sun sets, casting long, dramatic shadows across the canals, a different Venice begins to emerge. The pragmatic city of commerce slowly recedes, and in its place rises a city of mystery, intrigue, and pleasure. And the key to this transformation is the mask. In Venice, masks weren't just for Carnival. For months at a time, from October until Lent, Venetians of all social classes would wear masks to go about their lives. This tradition was born from a desire for anonymity in a city with a very rigid social structure. Behind a mask, a nobleman could mingle with commoners. A wealthy merchant could visit a gambling den without judgment, and people could pursue secret romances. The mask was a great equalizer, a tool of liberation that dissolved social boundaries and allowed for a freedom unheard of anywhere else. There were many types of masks, each with its own purpose and story. The most common was the bata, a stark white mask that covered the entire face, often worn with a black tricorn hat and a dark cloak called a tabaro. Its clever design, with a jutting, beak-like chin, meant the wearer could eat, drink, and talk without taking it off, ensuring complete anonymity. Then there was the colombina, a delicate half-mask, often decorated with gold, silver, and feathers, that covered only the eyes, leaving the mouth free for kissing or for secrets. And perhaps most haunting of all was the volto or larva, a plain white full-face mask. Its name means ghost, and it gave the wearer a spectral appearance as they moved through the dark alleyways and dimly lit arcades. This culture of anonymity seeped into the city's governance. The state itself was a city of secrets. To protect itself from conspiracies, the Republic created a powerful and feared group known as the Council of Ten, established in 1310 after a failed coup. This council became the state's intelligence agency, operating in absolute secrecy from within the Doge's palace. They maintained a vast network of spies and informants, gathering information on everything from foreign military plans to gossip in the town square. And they had the power to punish anyone, even the highest nobles, who threatened the security of the Republic. To help their work, special letterboxes were placed around the city. These were the infamous Bac de Leon, or lion's mouths. Carved in the shape of a lion's face, a symbol of Venice, these stone mouths had a slot where any citizen could drop a secret denunciation against another. While stories paint this as a sinister system of anonymous snitching, the truth was a bit more complex. Most denunciations had to be signed and backed up by witnesses to be taken seriously. False accusers could face the same punishment as the crime they reported. Still, the mere presence of these stone mouths, set into the walls of churches and public buildings, served as a constant reminder that the state was always watching, always listening. Imagine yourself now, walking through a dimly lit alley. The sound of your footsteps echoes softly off the damp walls. A figure in a dark cloak and a white volto mask passes you, a silent ghost in the night. You pass a church and see the dark, open maw of a lion's mouth in the wall. The air is cool and still, filled with unspoken words and unseen glances. There is no fear, only a deep sense of mystery, a feeling that everyone has a secret and every shadow might hide a story. Let this sense of profound and peaceful mystery envelop you like a soft cloak, hiding you from all worries and allowing you to drift into the deepest, most secure sleep. The life of Venice was governed by two great forces, the solemnity of the church and the majesty of the sea. The calendar was filled with elaborate feasts and ceremonies that reinforced the city's sacred bond with the water that gave it life. One of the most important was the Feast of the Ascension, which celebrated both a key naval victory and an important peace treaty. The centerpiece of this festival was a truly unique ritual, the marriage of the sea. On this day, the Doge, the elected leader of Venice, would board a magnificent gilded state barge called the Toro. This floating palace, rowed by men from the arsenal, was a spectacle of gold leaf and velvet, followed by a grand procession of boats of all shapes and sizes. He would sail out into the lagoon toward the Lido Inlet. There, in a solemn ceremony, he would cast a consecrated golden ring into the waves, proclaiming the words Hesponsinus, Te mare insignum veri perpetuit domini, we wed thee, O sea, as a sign of true and everlasting dominion. This symbolic marriage was a powerful reaffirmation of Venice's deep, eternal connection to the sea, acknowledging it as the source of all the city's power and wealth. Other traditions marked the passage of the seasons. In November, for the feast of the Madonna Sella Salute, a temporary bridge of boats would be built across the Grand Canal. This allowed thousands of pilgrims to cross and give thanks at the magnificent Basilica of Santa Maria della Salute for the city's deliverance from a devastating plague in 1631. The Doge had vowed to build the church if the Virgin Mary would intercede to end the sickness, and every year the city renews its gratitude in a solemn procession, lighting candles and saying prayers of thanks. Even justice had its own solemn rituals. Deep within the Doge's palace were the city's courtrooms and interrogation chambers. Convicted prisoners would be led from the palace's grand halls across a covered bridge to the new prisons on the other side of the canal. This bridge, an enclosed corridor of white Istrian stone with small latticed windows, became known as the Bridge of Sighs. The name, popularized by the poet Lord Byron, comes from the belief that this was the prisoner's last chance to glimpse the beauty of the Venetian lagoon, to see the sky and the water before being led into darkness. The sighs were those of loss, of a final despairing look at freedom. Imagine the sky above you now, a vast canopy of deep indigo, dotted with the faint light of distant stars. The water below is a mirror, reflecting that same endless sky. You are floating between two infinities, held in the gentle embrace of the lagoon. The grand ceremonies are over. The Doge's golden ring rests at the bottom of the sea. The prisoner's sighs have long since faded into the night air. All that remains is the deep, profound peace of the floating city at rest. The gentle rocking of the water, the soft, cool air, the immense, quiet beauty of it all. There is nothing left for you to do but to let go, to surrender to this perfect calm, and to allow the ancient, whispering canals to carry you into the world of dreams. As the night continues to settle over the tranquil city, you may not realize that beneath the still waters of the canals, there lies an entire world of forgotten stories, lost beneath the quiet depths. The water, once a source of life and movement, is now a keeper of secrets, holding memories from centuries past. For beneath every bridge, in the shadow of every gondola, there are whispers of things long gone, echoes of lives once lived. It's easy to think of Venice as a city of grandiosity, but its true essence lies in its subtle, quieter stories, those that have slipped beneath the surface, hidden from the eyes of most who pass through it. The canals, though serene, are living vessels of memory. The boats that once carried merchants, the walls that once bore the laughter of revelers, and the markets that teemed with life are all now part of the city's soul, carried in the waters. Current. One of those stories is that of the lost pescatori, the fishermen who once formed the lifeblood of the Venetian economy. Their boats, simpler than the grand gondolas, would drift through the canals, bringing with them the fresh catch. Of the lagoon tiny fish, crustaceans, and the coveted anguille, eels. The fishermen's songs were woven into the soundscape of Venice, a part of the city's identity. Today, though, their boats have become but a memory, their voices absorbed by the deep waters. Even the canals themselves hold tales of their creation, their purpose, and their destruction. Many of the smaller waterways were originally dug out by hand, their paths determined by necessity rather than design. The earliest canals were crude trenches, shallow and narrow, just wide enough for a small boat to pass through. They were meant to carry trade, but over time they became the veins of the city, expanding and growing as the city's needs changed. Some canals were built for speed, others for commerce, and still others for beauty, winding around palaces and courtyards. But the history of these canals isn't always a peaceful one. In times of conflict, Venice's canals became conduits of strife. The Grand Canal itself, the city's main waterway, has witnessed fierce battles fought in its waters. Ships laden with soldiers once lined its banks, preparing for skirmishes that would determine the fate of the city. During such moments of tension, the usually serene waters would churn with the anger of the tides, the murmur of the city's whispers turning to a roar. Though these battles are no more, their ghosts remain, buried deep within the stillness of the canals, waiting to rise in a quiet echo. Imagine yourself drifting now along these very waterways, feeling the faint presence of these forgotten stories beneath you. The water, so calm on the surface, is a mirror that reflects the grandeur of Venice. But beneath, it hides the city's true legacy, its past of resilience, of struggle, and of survival. Let the depth of this history surround you now as you float deeper into the night. Feel the cool, quiet embrace of the water and allow its ancient, silent stories to carry you even further into your dreams. As you continue your journey through the heart of Venice, you may notice the silent guardians of the city, the stone statues, the lion carvings, and the marble pillars that line the buildings. These are the ancient sentinels of the city, standing watch over the lives and events that have shaped Venice into the iconic city it is today. They stand firm, unwavering in their duty, silently observing the city's unfolding stories. They are part of the quiet architecture of the city present, but never intrusive, their gaze eternal. There's one guardian in particular that holds a special place in the soul of Venice. It's the lion, the symbol of St. Mark, and it can be found everywhere, on the Doge's palace, on the column at the Piazza San Marco, and even on the bow of every gondola. The lion's wings are a reminder of Venice's rise to power as a naval republic, and its roar represents the might of the Venetian fleet that once commanded the Mediterranean. Yet the lion's gaze is always calm, its posture dignified. It does not boast or show anger. It simply watches, quietly enduring. On a moonlit night like this, you might find yourself passing one of these silent stone lions, bathed in the soft glow of lantern light. The lion's gaze follows you, its expression inscrutable, yet oddly comforting. The air is still, and the only sound you hear is the gentle ripple of the water against the canal walls. This calm presence of the lion, unmoving and eternal, becomes a symbol of the city's soul anchored in its past, yet ever present, enduring. As you continue along your journey, feel the weight of this ancient symbolism, feel the strength and timelessness of Venice surrounding you. Let the steady presence of the lion, the quiet dignity of its gaze, guide you deeper into the heart of the city. It's a reminder that no matter how much time passes, some things remain unchanged. The lion will always watch over Venice, just as the whispers of the canals will always tell their stories. Venice is a city like no other, and its heartbeat is not measured in seconds or minutes. Instead, it is measured in tides, in the rise and fall of the water that nourishes and sustains it. The city is in constant flux, its very existence dictated by the rhythm of the lagoon. This is the heartbeat of Venice, silent, steady, and always present. Each day, the tide brings new life to the canals, and with it, a sense of renewal. The salt water that once nourished the land also returns to claim it, to cleanse it, to give it new life. And as the tide recedes, it leaves behind a city in waiting calm, quiet and still. The heartbeat of Venice is a pulse that aligns perfectly with the ebb and flow of the water. It's an endless rhythm, a cycle that has been repeated for centuries. In the early morning hours, before the city stirs from its slumber, the heartbeat of Venice is especially palpable. The water is calm, the air is crisp, and the city is at rest, its energy replenished by the night. The quiet ripple of the canals serves as the perfect backdrop to the deep, soothing pulse of the city. This is when Venice's true soul is most alive, when it is breathing in harmony with the lagoon, when the only thing that matters is the gentle, rhythmic flow of the tide. Imagine now, floating silently beneath a sky full of stars. The cool air brushes your skin, and you feel at one with the rhythm of the city. You feel the heartbeat of Venice inside you, and with each breath, it becomes a part of you. It's a rhythm that calms the mind, soothes the soul, and invites you to let go. Let this heartbeat carry you deeper into your rest, deeper into the peaceful, restorative sleep that awaits you. As you drift further into the tranquil night, another layer of Venice's mystery begins to emerge, the spirits of the lagoon. Many people believe that Venice is not only a city built on water, but also a city haunted by it. Some say that the water itself holds the essence of those who have come and gone, those who once walked the cobbled streets, who rode in gondolas, or whose whispers once filled the palaces. The spirits of Venice are not to be feared, but to be respected. They are the echoes of the past, an inseparable part of the city's being, carried along the canals, along the tides, and in the very air itself. Perhaps the most famous of these spirits is that of the ghostly gondolier. Legend has it that a lone gondolier still glides silently along the canals at night, his boat unseen, his face hidden in the darkness of his hooded cloak. Some say that he is a spirit, cursed to row forever through the moonlit waterways, carrying those who are lost and seeking peace. Those who've crossed his path describe a sense of calm, a deep, overwhelming quietness that seems to emanate from the very air. It is a peaceful kind of haunting, as though the gondolier himself is not looking to be found, but to guide those who need him silently and without words. As you float tonight, imagine that you, too, might cross paths with this spectral figure, his gondola gliding silently alongside yours, sharing in the calm of the night. The distant stars above reflect in the water, casting shimmering reflections across the surface. The water ripples gently, as if in acknowledgement of the spirits that move within it, unseen but ever present. Feel the presence of these spirits not as an intrusion, but as an invitation to surrender, to let go of all worries, to rest in the arms of the eternal city that holds you in its embrace. These spirits of Venice ancient, gentle, and timeless are part of the living fabric of the city, woven into its history, its architecture, and its very essence. Their presence is not to be feared, but to be honored, for they are the quiet witnesses to the city's stories, and they carry its history. Across the water, through the shadows, and into the quiet reaches of your dreams. As you glide deeper into your dream, you may notice the subtle shift in sound. Venice, while known for its bustling market streets and crowded squares, is also a city of remarkable quiet. The silence of the canals is unlike any other silence, rich, thick, and full of life. It's a silence that isn't empty, but full of the murmurs of the city's history. The faint creak of a gondola, the soft clinking of water against the stone edges of a bridge, the distant toll of a bell from a church tower. These sounds create a kind of symphony, a delicate orchestra playing softly in the background of your consciousness. At night, the city seems to settle into an even deeper quiet. The hustle and bustle of the day is gone, and what remains is a peaceful stillness, the kind that can only be found in a city with no cars, no engines, and no roads only. Boats, bridges, and canals. It's a city where every sound is magnified, where the softest breath of wind becomes a symphony. The water itself carries sound in a unique way, amplifying it as if the canals were alive, absorbing and re-emitting every murmur, every whisper. As you drift along, imagine the sounds of Venice carrying through the water, the quiet hum of the city, the soft lapping of the waves against the gondola. You hear the faint call of a nightbird somewhere in the distance, a murmur of voices from a hidden courtyard, and the soft clink of glass as it's set upon a table in a distant restaurant. The city's nighttime symphony is one of peace, of beauty, and of rest. You might also notice that there are no jarring sounds here, no sharp interruptions or overwhelming noises. Venice exists in a kind of harmonic balance, where the sounds and silences intertwine to create a perfect rhythm. In the quiet of the canals, you are not just resting, you're becoming part of the symphony yourself, gently swaying with the pulse of the water, drifting deeper and deeper into your own peaceful slumber. The stillness of the canals at night also gives rise to another beautiful aspect of Venice, the dance of light and shadow. The soft glow of lanterns reflecting on the water creates ripples of light that seem to glide in time with the movement of the gondola. The buildings that rise on either side of the canals are cloaked in shadows, their facades softened by the night, their intricate carvings and delicate arches obscured just enough to stir the imagination. In the distance, you see the faint silhouette of the Campanile, its tower reaching up into the sky, a silent watchtower keeping vigil over the city. But it's the way the moonlight dances on the water that is most mesmerizing. It spills across, the surface in silvery ribbons, shimmering and shifting with every tiny wave. As the gondola glides silently forward, these beams of light seem to follow, as if they are part of the gondola itself, part of your journey. The moon's reflection on the water creates an illusion of movement, an endless cycle of light and shadow that mirrors the ebb and flow of the tides. Imagine the soft flicker of lanterns on the bridges, casting elongated shadows that stretch along the canals. Each bridge becomes an archway of light and darkness, a tunnel that leads you deeper into the heart of the city. The buildings on either side seem to sigh with the weight of centuries, their stones weathered and worn, yet holding strong against the passage of time. Every corner of Venice is a tapestry of light and shadow, a living canvas painted by the changing tide and the soft glow of the moon. As you float through this magical city, let the dance of light and shadow envelop you, as if you're moving through a dream. The gentle flow of the gondola, the shifting patterns of light on the water, and the soft rhythm of the tide all work together to carry you deeper into a state of complete relaxation. The night, with its blend of soft lights and deep shadows, is a lullaby for your senses, a peaceful invitation to surrender to the quiet calm of sleep. As the gondola continues to glide silently through the canals, you might wonder if Venice ever truly sleeps. In a sense, it doesn't. Even in the deep of the night, the city seems to be alive, pulsing softly with the quiet energy of centuries of history. The silence isn't emptiness. It's the kind of quiet that is rich, that hums with memories. It is a living city, but one that breathes at its own pace, detached from the hurried rhythms of the modern world. There's something magical about this slow, eternal rhythm that governs Venice. The city has seen the rise and fall of empires, the ebb and flow of fortunes, and the quiet passage of time, and yet it remains. Each stone, each brick, each carved lion, each shimmering reflection in the canals is a witness to this timeless dance. In a way, Venice lives as much in the night as it does in the day, for the night reveals its true spirit, its quiet, contemplative soul. When you find yourself adrift in this peaceful setting, you may feel that you too are part of something much larger than yourself. The gondola continues to glide forward, carried by the current, just as you are carried by the tides of sleep. The weight of the world is no longer pressing upon you. You are at peace, surrounded by a city that lives in harmony with the flow of the water, with the passage of time, and with the eternal rhythm of the universe. Imagine just for a moment that you are as timeless as the city around you. You, too, are part of the ebb and flow of this place, connected to its past, its present, and its future. The gentle rocking of the gondola, the whisper of the water against the stone, and the soft flicker of lanterns seem to anchor you in this moment, in this peaceful, eternal place. As you continue to drift through the canals, the quiet, tranquil atmosphere begins to take on a new quality. You are no longer just an observer of Venice. You have become part of its dreams. Venice, in all its mystery and grandeur, is a city that dreams, and tonight you are walking in those dreams. The city's pulse, its rhythm, becomes yours. You are floating in a dream of marble and stone, of water and sky, of secrets and history. In the world of dreams, time is fluid, and the rules of reality bend and shift. You may find yourself in places within Venice that don't exist, yet feel completely real. Perhaps you wander through hidden courtyards that seem to emerge from the shadows, or find yourself in an ancient library filled with the scent of parchment and ink, its shelves heavy with books written in languages you do not know, but somehow understand. The air here is thick with the weight of stories, of dreams long past, but still alive in the city's soul. Or perhaps you find yourself standing before the Grand Basilica of San Marco, but it is unlike anything you've ever seen before. The golden mosaics seem to shimmer with an otherworldly light, and the soft sounds of distant chanting fill the air, rising and falling like a lullaby. You walk through the basilica's cool, shadowed halls, your footsteps echoing softly, and as you approach the altar, you feel a deep sense of reverence. It's as though the very spirit of Venice, with all its history, its beauty, and its mystery, is alive in this place, breathing in time with your own heartbeat. In the dream of Venice, anything is possible. The canals stretch out before you like a river of stars, guiding you forward into the unknown. The gondola moves without effort, as though the water itself is carrying you along, drawing you deeper into the city's soul, into the quiet heart of its dreams. The silence here is not an absence of sound, but a rich, layered quiet that allows space for dreams to unfold. It is in this silence that you can hear the whispers of the city's past, of the lives that have come and gone, of the love stories, the triumphs, and the defeats. The whispers are there, just beneath the surface, waiting for you to hear them, to understand them. In Venice, love is never far away. Its waterways have borne witness to countless love stories, both celebrated and tragic. The canals, with their winding paths and shadowed corners, have been the setting for romantic rendezvous, secret meetings, and whispered confessions. The city's beauty, its mystique, has inspired countless tales of passion, devotion, and longing. As you float along, tonight, let your mind wander to those lost lovers. Perhaps you imagine a couple, hand in hand, walking the quiet streets beneath the soft glow of lanterns, their love a secret shared only between them and the city itself. Perhaps you see them stealing away in a gondola, the boat gliding silently. through the canals as the world sleeps around them. They are the ghosts of Venice's past, their love eternal, held in the city's embrace. You may also find yourself drawn to the quieter, more solitary stories of love. The love of an artist for the city itself, painting the canals with delicate strokes of light and shadow. The love of a poet, writing verses by the light of a flickering candle, the sound of the water outside inspiring the words that flow from their pen. The love of a gondolier for the city he has rowed through all his life, his oar moving in time with the rhythm of Venice's heart. Imagine now that you are one of these lost lovers, drifting through the night with the city as your only companion. The gondola moves effortlessly, carrying you through the canals, beneath the bridges, and past the grand facades of the palaces. The water is calm, the city at peace, and for a moment you are part of something larger than yourself. You are part of the eternal dance of Venice, a city that has known love in all its forms. As your gondola continues to glide through the quiet canals, the journey draws to a close. The gondola slows, and you find yourself drifting into a deeper and deeper sense of calm. The water is still, the night is peaceful, and the city is at rest. There is nothing more to do, no place you need to be. You are safe, you are at peace, and you are embraced by the city of Venice. The moon hangs low in the sky, casting a gentle light over the water. The lanterns along the canals flicker softly, their light rippling on the surface of the water. The stone lions, the silent guardians of Venice, stand tall and watchful, their eyes soft with age, their secrets safe. Feel the city's embrace as it carries you into the quiet depths of your dreams. Let the soft, rhythmic pulse of Venice, canals, its gondolas, its ancient buildings, lull you into a peaceful, restorative sleep. There is nothing left but the serenity of the night, the gentle rocking of the gondola, and the endless peace of the city at rest. The whispering canals have told their tales, and now, in this quiet moment, they fall silent, inviting you to do the same. Allow the last waves of relaxation to wash over you, and drift peacefully into the world of dreams. Sleep well, and may your dreams be as peaceful as the gentle waters of Venice. As you drift further into your dreams, you may begin to feel a gentle shift in the air. Venice, though eternal, is not immune to the winds of change. It has witnessed the rise and fall of powerful empires, the ebb and flow of generations, and the quiet transformations that come with time. These changes are often subtle, felt more in the air than in the stones beneath your feet, carried by the wind that sweeps through the narrow streets and the open expanses of the lagoon. The winds of Venice have always carried with them the promise of something new. From the bustling markets of Rialto to the grand halls of the Doge's palace, the air is thick with the potential for change. It was the wind that once carried the first Venetian merchants across the seas to distant lands, bringing back riches and stories of far-off places. It was the wind that carried the voices of revolutionaries and conquerors, of artists and poets, all seeking their place in the story of Venice. But tonight, the wind is different. It carries a whisper, not of conquest, but of quiet renewal. The city sleeps, but in the heart of the lagoon, the waters stir ever so slightly, and the breeze brings with it the promise of new beginnings. Gondola moves steadily, the oar's soft splash merging with the rustling sound of the trees on the islands, as though the entire city is dreaming of what might come next. Venice is not stagnant. It is alive, constantly shifting, always evolving. In the gentle pull of the water, you can feel the city's soul, open to the future while honoring its past. Venice is a place of contradictions, both ancient and modern, built on water, yet somehow never sinking. The wind whispers that Venice, like the dreams it inspires, is ever-changing, always adapting, while remaining forever anchored in the depths of its rich history. As you float through this dreamscape, let the winds of Venice guide you. Feel their cool caress on your skin, their energy flowing through you, filling you with a sense of anticipation for whatever is yet to come. The wind is both a breath of the city and a breath of your own dreams, stirring deep within your heart. The city is changing, and so are you. In this quiet, peaceful moment, let that change come gently, without force, like the ebb and flow of the tide. Above you, the moon continues its journey across the velvet sky, its pale light casting soft reflections on the water. The moon, much like the city it watches over, is timeless. Its presence is a constant, an anchor in the ever-shifting currents of the world. For centuries, it has watched over Venice, illuminating the canals with its ethereal glow and casting long shadows that stretch across the stone streets. In Venice, the moon has been a symbol of mystery and romance, a companion to countless lovers who have stolen away on the quiet canals beneath its light. The city, bathed in moonlight, takes on a different character, its grandeur softened, its beauty magnified. The moon doesn't just light the city. It transforms it, revealing hidden corners and secret paths that are otherwise unseen. Tonight, the moon is particularly bright, its light nearly silver in its intensity. As you glide silently through the water, the moon's reflection dances across the surface, weaving patterns of light and shadow that seem almost alive. The canals themselves seem to glow with an inner radiance, as if the city itself is made of moonlight and dreams. Imagine that the moon's gaze is upon you now, soft and steady, guiding you through the silent night. There is no rush, no need to hurry. The moon, like the gondola, moves slowly across the sky, marking the passage of time, not with urgency, but with quiet grace. It is a reminder that, just like the tides of the lagoon, everything moves at its own pace, in its own time. Let the moon's light wash over you, filling you with a sense of peace and clarity. The world may move fast, but here, under the moonlit sky, time slows. The city, the gondola, the water, all of it becomes part of this quiet moment, suspended in time. As the gondola continues its journey, you begin to notice a return to silence, a deeper, more profound kind of quiet that only a place like Venice can offer. The city's whispers, which have surrounded you since you began your journey, fade into a gentle hum, becoming part of the landscape of your dreams. The water laps against the sides of the gondola, the sound a constant rhythmic lullaby. The world outside seems far away, as if it no longer exists, and only this moment remains. This silence is not empty. It is rich and full of meaning. It is the silence of a city that has seen centuries pass, a city that has lived through triumph and loss, through peace and war. It is the silence of the lagoon, which holds within its depths the secrets of countless generations. It is the silence of Venice itself, a city that speaks not through words, but through the gentle pull of the tides, the soft movement of the gondolas, and the quiet presence of its people. In this silence, you are safe. You are surrounded by the city's embrace, held gently by its waters and its whispers. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to change. The city is at rest, and so are you. You are a part of it now, a part of its quiet story, moving through the night like a dream, unhurried, unbothered by the world outside. Let this silence surround you now. Let it fill your mind and heart with peace, with the knowledge that you are exactly where you need to be. In this moment, there is no past or future, only the now. The gondola rocks gently, the water flows silently beneath you, and all is calm. The city is at rest, and so are you. As your journey through Venice reaches its final moments, you feel a deep sense of peace. This peace is not fleeting, but eternal as the city itself. Venice, with all its beauty, its history, and its secrets, holds a quiet peace that transcends time. It is a piece woven into the very fabric of the city, carried by the waters of the canals, and reflected in the stillness of the night. The gondola slows to a stop, and you find yourself drifting in a quiet, secluded corner of the lagoon. The moonlight is soft now, and the water is perfectly still. There is no sound except for the gentle lapping of the water against the sides of the gondola. The city is silent, its mystery safe, its beauty eternal. This is the peace of Venice, the peace of a city that has stood the test of time, a city that has seen empires rise and fall, yet remains unchanged in its essence. It is a peace that belongs not to any one person, but to the city itself, to the waters that have nurtured it, and to the people who have called it home. Let this peace wash over you now, as you rest in the quiet embrace of Venice. Feel the gentle pull of the tide, the calm of the water, and the stillness of the night. You are safe here, held in the arms of a city that has known peace for centuries. The whispers of Venice have faded into silence, and all that remains is the eternal tranquility of the lagoon. As the gondola rests in the stillness of the lagoon, the world around you seems to fall into the deepest of quiets. The soft whisper of the water, the cool embrace of the night air, and the silver glow of the moon become a part of you. The city of Venice has shared its secrets, its stories, its history with you. Now it is time to rest. The city, with all its grandeur and mystery, has become a part of your dreams. You are no longer just a visitor in Venice. You are a part of its eternal fabric woven into the very essence of its beauty, its peace, and its quiet mystery. The gondola, though still, seems to continue its journey in the calm of the night. But now, it's a journey within a journey of deep relaxation, a journey toward rest. Let the quiet waters carry you gently, just as the gondola has carried you through the canals. Allow yourself to sink deeper and deeper into the peace of the city, the peace of the night. There is nothing you need to do, no place you need to be. All is as it should be. The city's whispers have faded into the background, leaving only the quiet hum of your heartbeat and the steady rhythm of your breath. In this moment, you are at one with the city, at peace, at rest. As you float into the world of dreams, know that Venice will always be there, waiting for you. It exists not only in time, but in memory, in every whisper of the wind, in every reflection of the moon. It will remain in your heart, a place of eternal peace, of gentle beauty, of whispers that never truly fade. This city, built upon water, is more than just a place on a map. It is a living story, a dream shared by all who visit, a dream of resilience, of history, and of love. Venice is a reminder that even in the quietest moments, in the stillest of nights, life continues, and dreams flow like the waters of the canals. As you rest now, let Venice be your final thought, its soft glow, its peaceful embrace. Let it carry you deeper into sleep, where the only sound is the soft lapping of water against stone, the only light, the gentle glow of moonlight on the water. You are safe. You are at peace. You are one with Venice. Sleep well, dear dreamer. The city of the whispering canals will always be here, waiting to welcome you back when you are ready to return.